Anyone who knows me knows I love a good story. And I've grown to accept the fact that some stories are just not going to be very good either. But what I can't stand is when some sort of media, some sort of story comes out that has so much potential, has some things really going for it, and just totally blows it. These are the ones that grind my gears. These are the ones that keep me up at night angry because, oh, such a great concept, such a great writing team, such a great something just got wasted on this. It grinds my gears so much that I've put together a list of the top 5 animated series that had some sort of thing really going for them, and then were executed so poorly that they just became entirely unmemorable or even frustrating to see still airing on television. So here they are, my top 5 animated series that had so much potential and blew it. Number 5. Doraemon. Wait, don't kill me yet. I'm not talking about the show itself. I'm talking about the way that Disney XD handled its promotion and release in America. That's right, Disney XD has been airing Doraemon for a couple months now, and you probably didn't even know about it. What the heck, Disney? I mean, I know that Disney isn't exactly the king of making good choices when it comes to their animation, but this is just stupid from both a creative perspective and a marketing perspective. Doraemon is a 20-year-old franchise that is one of the biggest things in Japan. It has a slew of movies dedicated to it. It sells merchandise at the Yin Yang, and they barely promoted it at all for its release in America. Just, what the heck? There's so much you guys could have done with this. There's so much more promotion this show could have been given, should have been given, and it just quietly slips its way onto one of Disney's secondary channels. Just, wow. Not promoting this show better may be the biggest lost opportunity in Disney Animation's history, and that is saying a lot. Number 4. Lego Legends of Chima. Legends of Chima is the perfect example of everything that makes a potentially good show that just isn't frustrating for me. Because it's so incredibly meh. It's not bad, oh my gosh, this is terrible. It's not very good. It's not even okay, I'd watch it if it's on. It's so meh that I just don't care about its existence. The story is alright. The voice acting is pretty darn bad. It just... Here's the thing. Chima was originally intended to replace Ninjago as the new big Lego property, and it's doing alright. It's not doing terribly. It's getting some graphic novels. It's still running. It's got some stuff. Kids like it, but it clearly just didn't have the spark that Ninjago did. And people are showing that as well with their money and with how the franchise is being treated. Ninjago got brought back. Despite Chima already airing, Ninjago's featured in the Lego movie while Chima's not even mentioned. Ninjago continues to have a graphic novel series even though Chima's also getting a graphic novel series. Ninjago is slated to get its own theatrical movie, for crying out loud. Chima may be keeping its head above water, but Lego has made it very clear which series they're putting their faith in, and which series they believe is going to be remembered. And I have to agree with them. Number 3. My mental choices are completely interfering with my high school romantic comedy. The story is about a teenage boy who randomly finds himself being forced to make the choice between 2 things that he must do, both of them being kind of embarrassing and stupid. If he doesn't make the choice, I don't even remember, to be honest. I think he gets some really bad headache or something. That's how much I tried to wipe this series from my memory. The problem is, instead of telling an interesting story with this premise, they once again do a harem anime with a bunch of perverted humor. This isn't a unique problem to this anime. I'm specifying it because it's one of the premises I thought was the coolest out of anime with this problem, but I could realistically fill up an entire top 5 with them. The manga artist and his assistants, the animation, Arya and the Scarlet Ammo, just a few that I can name off the top of my head, all deal with this exact same thing. They have a really interesting premise, and then they take the lowest common denominator. They make a bunch of pervert humor and a big harem anime, and it's always really dumb, and I want nothing to do with it. Seriously, there's better ways to write humor out there. We just have a ton of anime series that are lazy and just go for what they know dumb teenage boys are going to approve of. Stupid anime like this are always going to exist, but I wish there was a way that we could keep the interesting concepts from being dragged down with them. Number 2. SpongeBob SquarePants. A while back, the SpongeBob movie came out in theaters and was really well received both by fans of the show and people who were kind of critical of it. It had a great plot, it had fun animation, it was just a wonderful movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and in the end, SpongeBob even got a new job. He became the manager of the Krusty Krab 2! So what happened in the series about this? Did they use this to help revive a show that was starting to lose a battle to status quo by giving SpongeBob an interesting new role in a new setting? No. They completely ignored the movie and kept trying to do the same thing they had been. This was really the nail in the coffin for SpongeBob. After that, episodes became much more satirical. SpongeBob and Patrick's characters changed to be much less likable and charming. And episodes that tried to bring back that charm just felt like rehashes of older episodes rather than something original and unique. People have been saying for years that Nick just needs to let the series die, so why don't they? If you ask me, it's because Nickelodeon doesn't really have an identity right now outside of SpongeBob. Their other original productions haven't seen very much critical acclaim, and for crying out loud, you know you're desperate when you rip off Cartoon Network blatantly. I'm not talking about the similarities between Sanjay and Craig's humor and regular show's humor. I'm talking about the Kids' Choice Sports Awards. They literally ripped off the Hall of Game, flat out. The day that SpongeBob finally gets canceled for good, I will have a party. I mean, I will go out and get a cake shaped like his face or something. SpongeBob deserves to rest in peace. It doesn't deserve to have another movie in obligatory crappy CGI and extremely unfunny jokes. Number 1. The Breadwinners. The Breadwinners had everything going for it. It had so much potential. And the animation community knew it and hyped the crap out of it. It was the first show to come out of Nickelodeon's revamped short film division, and it had this crazy imaginative premise. I mean, it's about these two best friends who are ducks and drive around in a rocket-powered van delivering bread. That's crazy awesome! The pilot wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but it made me smile. It was charming in a so dumb it's charming kind of way. But then the actual series came out and it wasn't dumb charming anymore, it was just dumb. Every episode of The Breadwinners is stuffed with as much fart and butt humor as you can fit into 10 minutes. The animation has this feel like it's trying to be an old Flash cartoon, but something just feels off about it and it ends up coming across as lazy. At first, I was going to rag on the creators of the series for this, but after seeing the pilot, I think that I need to give them the benefit of the doubt and blame Nickelodeon. Again. I mean, this is the same issue with SpongeBob. You can pull as much creative talent as you want, but if you have an oppressive atmosphere at the studio that clings to status quo and is afraid to take risks, you're not going to create any amazing content. This attitude at Nickelodeon is why their best bet right now is licensed properties. We have an amazing reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles airing, and there's a fun and quirky Rabbids show currently on air. Shows based on pre-existing licenses have a legacy and don't need to build an audience from the ground up. This advantage is, ironically, allowing them to have more creative freedom than completely original content in a time where Nickelodeon isn't really sure of themselves. If only they could realize that creative freedom and not being told to add another fart joke here, here, and here is why these franchises became so popular in the first place. Maybe then Nickelodeon has a chance of building up an identity again. Thanks for watching. If you have some comments about these shows, suggestions for future countdowns, or just want to chat, check out the comments section and see you next time. God bless.